Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. How's everybody doing? Hey, Ian. What's up, Alexander, Nate, Joe? How you guys doing? What's up, Lonigan? Hey, Kevin. Ian, how are you? Oh, boy. Well, so yesterday was it's not a P profile, it's not a B profile. I call that the Olympic torch profile. And things got out of hand when was it AVGO put out their earnings, and we just ripped. So where we are now, you take a look at this. There's that all-time high in RTH at 69.46-ish. It's either 45 and change or 46. There's an all-time high at 53 and three quarters from the 29th of October. Uh, but that was done in Globex. So we are right in that area now. And so if you look at inventory, and inventory is really all of that inventory is underneath current price. Hey Ron, how are you? All of that inventory is underneath current price, and that's difficult for short sellers because if traders are short in this area here, the supply is all underneath them, right? So you have to sort of think, what's the next step here? Well, the all-time highs are here. This move at the end of the day was a lot of buy-ins. You could see that happening. I called it out in the room earlier. I said, "Oh, buy-ins are happening." And we're kind of we're just the value area or the cost basis of our overnight session is just all over 69.03 and three quarters. Tight profile, but you have to remember something that once again, overnight inventory is 100% short. Okay? So for now, the bid is around 68.98, 6900. The bid's right there. All of the inventory over the last few days is underneath us, and we are in distribution, right? It's a slow distribution because you don't have a lot of buying to push this up right now. What we're going to do is, even though inventory is long, I'm looking to see how much of a backfill we get going into RTH later on this morning. If we can't take out that overnight low and we just go sideways, be careful of that move because inventory is 100% short, right? Every single trade is underneath the previous day's close. Now, the thing is we had a high close, right? Usually when we have a high close, and remember I put it in the room last night, right? I said, you know, something that you guys, if you're trading, you'll want to come into the room, you'll look at the notes that I put in, and you'll see how you can do business in the next session, right? I said, be careful shorting if we don't backfill the move, right? But I said, high close today, look for a move to backfill the Globex session. So we're looking at that for 69.06, and we're down here when we got down here now. So that's good. That's healthy. That's normal for a move to backfill, right? Let's see. Not much going on. What we do have are some balance areas here. I've got 3/4 to 7. Now I'm actually going to stop calling this balance because you guys get confused. I'm just going to start calling this a cost basis chart. Hey, Lake Show, welcome. Mr. Simpson, you're awake. Okay, just behave yourself this morning. So the blue area is the cost basis. The green area is where we mark up price. The red area is where we discount price. Does that make a lot more sense than saying value area and balance? Like balance, you think you're balancing on something, right? And value area is absolutely meaningless to somebody who's like just walked off the street. Like if you took somebody off the street and you said, this is the value area, they'll be like, okay, that's great. Maybe you think it's valuable, right? That's what they're going to say, right? But if you say, hey, this is the cost basis, this is where they paid for the stuff, this is where they're going to profit, and this is where they have to discount the product. Now, snort your caffeine and tell me whether that makes sense. Hey, quick, what's going on? Because I think a lot of barrier is the way things are worded. And because people have a 5-second attention span, by the time you say the value area is 70% of where business is transacted, you've lost them, right? They're already gone. They're gone, right? But if you say, hey, this is how much you paid for the crap, this is where they mark it up, this is where they discount it. See, the thing is, you might like the right terminology, but the guys who invented the terminology, right, were like stats guys. And stats guys don't live in the regular world and communicate things to people. Hey, Johnny, what's going on? That's why I'm trying to make it so people understand what I'm saying, right? Because you also have to remember that the right terminology was invented in the 80s when people had a longer attention span, right? Right? I know what you're saying, Trade Maker, and it makes sense, right? You're a stats person. That's good. Well, how come you're not keeping stats? Okay, all right. Guess what? You just volunteered to be our official stats gal. Because I don't have the discipline to keep stats. Okay, you're it. Now I know. Oh, okay. Good, good, good. Right. So from now on, no more balance, no more value areas. This is how much we paid for the crap. And tonight we're marking it up and we're making good sales, or we're discounting it to see if we can bring some buyers in, right? Let's make this as simple as possible because trading is freaking difficult, right? Let's try and make our lives, you know, let's make it easy for ourselves, right? The path of least resistance, indeed, right? Is this one of the wildest Decembers you've ever seen? No, no, unfortunately not. I am, as they say, a veteran of psychic wars. I've seen some stuff that would turn you blue, Mr. Simpson. Ugh, this is nothing. This is actually tame. The only thing that's happening here is the ranges are really, really big, right? So right now, if you looked at the market with the way I've explained it, we are right in cost basis, right? We're in the area that we paid for the goods, right here. We marked it up a couple of times. We put it on sale down here. But right now, you can pretty much buy ES for what they paid for it 3, 4 hours ago. Yeah, that 500 point day was something else. I've seen some crazy stuff. I remember once we were doing a short squeeze. It's slow right now, so I can chat a little bit, and it's Friday. We were doing a short squeeze once, and we had squeezed the stock from about, I think we started at about $4 or $5 we started on the stock. And my client was a guy that we called the Freak. And he looked like a cross between Paul McCartney and Dudley Moore. He was this tiny British guy. But this guy was one of the smartest dudes I had ever met. He used to be one of the 50th richest guys in England. He was a billionaire. He started with nothing. Built up a trading firm. Did the first acquisition of a Japanese company by a foreign individual. Created the Japanese warrant market. He was worth 16 billion pounds at one time. And in the financial, when Japan fell apart, he was over leveraged, and they threw his ass in jail. He came out, and I helped him with penny stocks. He got into penny stocks to remake his fortune. One of the sharpest dudes I'd ever met. We were running a deal. I was his executing trader, and we had 1 million shares on the bid at $21 from a hedge fund out of Europe, and the SEC halted the stock because the CEO had made some sort of false and misleading comment. And that was it. It was brutal. Right? If you've ever been not through like a trading halt, but like they hooked it. They hooked the stock at 21 bucks and then everybody lost their money. It was ugly. It was horrible. Right? It was somebody actually lost their lives. One of our friends who had put a whole bunch of people into the stock killed himself. So I've seen some stuff, right? This is nothing. This is like the teacups at Disneyland, right? You guys haven't even seen hard times in the market yet, right? Things can go bad really quick. That's why I'm always preaching about risk, right? Because I've seen crazy things happen. I've seen clearing firms go down, brokerage firms go bankrupt overnight. All of these sorts of things are because people take advantage of systems, and risk is really what you have to watch out for. You have to be very, very, very risk aware. Oh, yeah, right. I had to trade that stock on the gray market for a year and a half afterwards. But I did trade out most of the position at $9. No bid, no ask. I actually made the market verbally. Back then we had something called an Instinet machine. We didn't have one, so I had to call Toronto at all hours and get the Instinet guys to put in the bid offer for me. Right? You guys think trading like this is difficult? Right? Try trading without charts, without quotes, without a last, and the only thing you get is a last price. That's the gray market. There's no published quotes. So you call a market maker and you go, okay, this stock, and he goes, well, it's $3 bid, $5 offered. Spreads $2. Oh, I don't know, Simpson. I really could, honestly, I'm getting sick of hearing Michael Burry's name, right? Good luck to him, but I don't know why they're obsessed with him. It's so weird. We are very spoiled nowadays, Johnny. We're very spoiled. Very spoiled. Let's see if we could get over 6907 and three quarters. How's that new contract doing? What's our volume on the new contract? Just curious. 14,400. We're at 65K here. The 15th. What I'll do is this weekend I will update my charts for the contract rollover, and probably next week sometime the volume will catch up, so we'll be ready to go. Man, it's slow. It's a slow night because we have inventory is short. We've got bids in here just underneath 6,900. Let's see what's going to happen. Yeah, I don't think I would panic. We're at all-time highs and everybody's thinking we're going to get a blow off top, but that's not how markets operate now. They flush, they take out the people who bought stock on credit, and then they go right back up. I don't know why everybody's talking about a crash. I mean, have they looked at the structure of the market? Right? It's, it's weird. I am a Michael Lewis fan, but I think the biggest mistake he did was making that movie The Big Short. That movie is responsible for bankrupting so many retail traders because they think they can short sell like a hedge fund, and it's completely delusional, right? You can't trade like a hedge fund. You got what, 5 grand? You got 5 billion? How are you going to trade the same way? Like, makes no sense. You know, it's crazy, right? Just makes zero sense, right? And it got people in, and what it's done, unfortunately, it's everybody thinks it's great to short a market, right? And they don't understand how shorting works. They don't understand the mechanics of the market. They just go, "Oh, it just went up. Well, let's short it." It's like, oh, Jesus. They keep shorting it. It's going to keep going higher. The more you short, the higher it goes. You do realize that when you short it, you have to buy it back, right? Doi. See, that's the problem. Most people don't even know the mechanics of a trade, right? When you open a long position, you buy something to sell later. When you open a short position, you sell something you don't own and you got to buy it back. The second part of the trade involves you buying back the security, right? right? That's what people forget. They're like, oh yeah, oh I gotta buy it back. Oh, it's 20 points higher. Oh, okay. You know, this makes no sense at all. Makes no sense at all. It's if it wasn't so tragic, it would be freaking hilarious. But unfortunately, yeah. Oh, that's what covering means. Yeah, give me your money. Exactly. No wonder we keep going higher. Everybody keeps shorting the market. Then they go to cover, the supply is all gone. The market goes up, and they just can't fathom it. They never stop to think because they just trade like drones, right? Like they're just like short, short, short. It's cool. The girls will love me. Where's my Lamborghini? Right? That should be the name of a book. I'm short. Where's my Lamborghini? Are you taking off the curse, Raj? Are we going to get liquidation? Oh, crazy. Man. Now, let's learn something, right? I'm talking a lot because there's nothing to do. There's no trades. I'll probably let you guys go early. If London opens in 5 minutes and nothing happens, look how small the candles are. Okay? Small candles, slow business, right? Small candles, slow business. Big candles, more business. So when you come in as a trader and you don't need a nose print chart or a bookworm chart or all this crap. Look at the candles. If the candles are small, you know business is slow and your trades probably are going to suck. Simple? Yeah. Go chill out, go to the gym, you know, relax. Take it easy. There's nothing to do here, right? There's nothing to do. It's almost trading like it's before a long weekend or something. Oh, what else is going on? Let's go take a look. While we're here, let's go look at that daily chart. There are the all-time highs right here. We're pretty close. These big liquidations, what they do is they just take out the longs, they flush them into bids. That's, as the man calls them, the catcher's mitt, and then right back up, you know. There's a reason we keep doing that. Liquidate higher, liquidate higher. You're in a trend up, right? Why would you be shorting this thing on a long-term level? You're insane, right? Unless you've got like a rich uncle who left you like, $20 billion or something like that. Look at that flush all the way down to 49.88. These prices on the contract rollover, I'll show you guys. So when I do it, I use a continuous futures contract, volume-based rollover, back adjusted. Now the reason I use volume-based rollover is because all I care about is the position, right? Yeah, and I did a video on that, Johnny. Why we keep going higher and higher after a liquidation. Um, why markets hit new highs after selling. I'll send you guys the video. You should watch this because it explains how the market's been built. What else is going on? You guys have any questions? Yeah, I might be doing it a little early today um, for the session. If we don't get any action, and if people don't have a lot of questions, right? And for the people who are checking in for the first time, I'm JJ. I'm vwaptrader1 on X, and we run the Trading Syndicate or tradingsyndicate.org with our AI coach. And it's probably your best value. I would actually say it's the best value in trading rooms right now because you'll get actionable information that you can actually use to actually make money. You know, I hate to say it, but I watch a lot of streams and I see a lot of people, and God bless them. You know, they're looking for liquidity sweeps and delta schmelta mucks and ducks and all sorts of crazy crap. And they just confuse the crap out of everybody. And nobody makes any money. If you want to make money and have like, you know, a clear head on what you're doing, come check us out. We won't steer you the wrong way. No gibberish. Yeah, they got Cool Ranch gaps and, you know, Buffalo chicken gaps and all sorts of crap. Let's see if we hold 6903. London's opening now. London usually trade maker. Where are you? Where's my stats trade maker? You're going to keep stats on how many times London opens and goes down instead of up. Where is she? She's disappeared now that she said she was a stats person. uh, yeah, don't say you're a stats person in my trading group. I'll give you work projects. uh, she's gone. Oh, okay. London's what? 8 ticks? So, if anyone's wondering why it's so slow, it's because yesterday we high closed the market. The large traders are not going to want to put on risk at this level. So they're going to wait to see if we can get a little bit lower. Okay? Hmm. Why do we usually liquidate the London session? It's an inventory correction, Johnny, generally. Alexander, unfortunately, yes. The continuous rollover, you have to do it on every single chart. That's why I hate contract rollover. Right? There's a lot of really great things about trading futures, right? There's no, there's no PDT rule, right? So you can there's no they don't charge you any of these sort of scammy, ooh, you got to borrow the stock and it's a hard to locate stock, so we're going to charge you more. There's none of that, right? Yeah, Johnny just shorted a yeah, right? So all of that stuff, that doesn't exist in futures. The only problem with futures is that you got to roll the damn thing, right, every quarter, and that is a little bit of work. That's why I did that rollover video for you guys. It's posted a couple of times in the room. It's all over. It's how to do it step by step. And you have to go. So the more charts you have in your chart book, Alexander, the more little adjustments you have to make. Right? So we found some bids at 4. We're back to 6. Call CNBC. Remember, inventory is short. Oh, it's going to be work, man. It's going to be work. That's what I usually do the rollover on a weekend. So next week I'll have a new chart book with the new contract and new levels. I'll have to redo the balance levels and all of that stuff. It's kind of a Saturday morning kind of a job. I'll have that out on Monday with the weekly update, and I still have to do that video on time frames. I still have that video on time frames. I hope. And the A plus setup. Oh, we're running that J high stop. I left this green box here, even though we filled it in. Let's see if we can get up over 9. Because you know why I left it there? Because it's also got the spike base of the N period. This N and O period, this is after hours. This is after 4 p.m. And it would be very strange to accept up there. I'm sounding bullish? No, man. I'm just trying to, Lake Cho, what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to see where the buying is, right? So we found bids at 4. If we stay over 7, I want to see what the reaction is when we get up to 9, 10, 11. So right now I'm not really bullish, and I never use that word. I don't use bullish and bearish. I have to do what the chart tells me, right? We're in a little bit of a sticky situation here, right? And the reason I called the whole week is because I concentrate on one thing, right? So the way I am with trading, and you don't have to be this way, right? This just works for me. I view trading the ES like just having one girlfriend or a wife. If you have one wife or one girlfriend, you know when she's in a bad mood, you know when she's in a good mood, you know when to go hide in the garage, right? When you trade multiple markets, most people don't have the attention span to focus and concentrate on each one, right? Now, there are traders out there, like if you look at Linda Ratchke, LBR, that lady can she is zoned into like 20, 30 different charts simultaneously, but she operates at a different level than we do, right? And her level of commitment, knowledge, all of that stuff is just way above my brain. I have to focus on one thing, right? I have to focus on one thing. I can't trade multiple markets and be as dialed in. And I don't mind admitting that. I can make markets in 20 different stocks simultaneously, but I'm controlling the supply. When I'm not in control, I have to pay attention. When I'm in control, I can be a little bit more sloppy. We're creeping. Hey, nice one, Aaron. 3 points. I'll take 3 points all day, every day. Beautifully done. Beautifully done. I went to bed pretty late last night. I haven't even taken a trade yet. I'm still waiting for this coffee to kick in. It's kind of, I think I need the high octane, a little bit higher octane in my coffee. It's creeping, and this is the worst kind of market to short because here's how it gets you, right? It sucks you in because it's all slow, right? That's what I'm thinking too, Carnivore Kid, but it's moving so slow, I gotta wait. Right? We're right at the spike base. We just hit that 10. If you are short here, right? If you're shorting here, your stop's going to be 10 and a half. Now, why am I calling out 10 and a half? Because that's where the sellers initiated before on the 1 minute. It's not a lot to lean against. That's why I'm not calling out the short. But if you are short, right? The supply is all underneath us, Aaron. The supply for pretty much all of the fall is underneath us. That's the problem with the short right now. And it's this creepy it's like like those zombie movies you guys love where the thing's moving but it's moving slow and you think it's going to fall over but it doesn't. That's this market. And that's how it traps so many short because a lot of people think that because a market's trading slowly that it's weak and it's going to go down, right? You see all these comments, it feels weak, it feels weak. Yeah, that's because there's no human beings trading it now. All the execution is electronic. So, yeah, it's going to feel weak and you're going to short it. And then next thing you know, it's like 8 points higher, right? So if you are short, you're shorting this thing. There's nothing wrong with shorting. Just manage your expectations and manage your risk so you don't get hung out to dry, right? So if we were short, we know that there's a seller here, right? That's where they came in before, right here. So if you're comfortable with that risk and you short 9, 8.5, then I would be looking for bids just here above VWAP, right? So you're short 9, 8.5. Look for a break of 7 3/4. And if it can't break 7 3/4, it's going to go and do that because it's got no other choice. And here's the problem. Overnight inventory, and I'm going to sound like a broken record, and if you kids don't know what a broken record is, it's something that repeats itself all the time. We are 100% short overnight inventory, remember? Close is all the way up here at 69.25. So see how it couldn't take out 69.07 3/4? Very difficult market for retail traders to trade right now. The reason is because the market got high closed yesterday and nobody wants to take on any risk, right? They'll let it sort of come back down or rip, or they want to see some sort of action before they commit. And you wouldn't be committing large amounts of money to this market right now anyway because it's the end of the year. That's already the 12th, huh? Amazing. This month is going to fly by. Just blink and it's going to be gone. See? It's hard to trade it long, it's hard to trade it short. You got to just I that was a nice three-pointer that you got there, Aaron. Nice three-pointer. Well done. Let's see. Yeah, nothing to do here. Okay, there's a seller at 9. I feel like I'm calling out like, those golf announcers. It's like really slow. Oof. Anybody have any questions? No? There we go. Offered under 7 3/4. Can I go over my technical analysis? On what time frame, Joe? Now, technical analysis for me is like chart patterns and stuff like that. Is that what you want to go over? Or do you want to go over my business plan for taking trades? What's the best time frame? Well, let me ask you, and nice to meet you. Um, are you are you new to trading, or have you been trading a while? Do you like to hold trades longer? Are you skilled at holding trades longer? If you're starting out, use a 1 minute chart and learn how to scalp. Oh, sure. Okay, if you're new, use the 1 minute chart. I'll give you some hints. I've got a ton of videos on this stuff if you look on my YouTube channel, right? Oh, and I'm supposed to say please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Keep the algorithms happy and well fed. So what I do, Joe, is pretty simple, right? Okay, so if you're day trading, what's the most important thing as a trader if you're day trading, right? You're a trader in a market. The market has a product. The most important thing for you is to know where the product is priced so you can make good business decisions, right? So I don't use normal technical analysis, right? I use VWAP because I'm an ex-institutional trader, and VWAP is an execution standard by which we're judged and where we will execute around. But what I do is I go and I find where the product is priced. So I know the product is priced here because it goes back and forth in this range. And when it breaks out, you double it to the up and down side. That's my technical analysis. VWAP is volume weighted adjusted price, right? Volume weighted average price. So what VWAP is, they created VWAP in the 1980s, right? There was a brokerage firm called Abel Noser. They invented VWAP and they used it for Ford Motor Company on the floor. And what they did is say, Joe, if you give me an order to buy 1 million shares of a stock, I will try and get you prices underneath VWAP, right? If you tell me to sell 1 million shares of stock, I will try and get you prices over VWAP. Why? Because that shows my skill as a trader, and then you're going to call me the next morning and give me an order. Because I get you good prices when you're buying, and I get you good prices when you're selling. Okay? So there'll be a lot of orders at VWAP because everybody uses it. Now, trading is all automated now, but still VWAP execution standards exist, right? So all I do is I draw this cost basis area, double it, and you'll see it's pretty damn accurate. I don't use any kind of chart patterns. I don't use any kind of technical analysis. I used to make markets for a living, and I used to be the guy who sells 100 million shares of stock. So if its cost basis is here, the other thing I do is I draw a line at the top of the candles when we go down to show me where the sellers are going to be when we get back up there. So say if I was long, who was long? Aaron? Aaron took a nice trade from 5 to 8, I think it was. So if we were still long, if Aaron and I were long, say we did a look below and fail of 7, right? If the market comes under 7 3/4, we buy 8. When it pops back up, put our stop underneath that candle. And then because we know that there's going to be a seller at this exact level, which is 10.5, if we know there's a 10.5 seller, we're going to sell at 10. That's it, right? So I would invite you to come check out our trading room, right? I teach every day. I'm on YouTube twice a day, right? You can watch those. Give our trading room a shot. We only charge $19 for a month, and there's no commitment or anything. Try it for a month or two, see if, and ask me questions. I do training sessions at least once a week, where we focus on execution. Hey, Blackhawk, how you doing? Thank you. So what we do is we teach you common sense and how to do business responsibly. So there's a business reason for a trade, right? So for example, here, right? When the market came below 69.07 and popped back up, we'd be buying 8, selling 9 and 10. It's a small range, but that's what you got to work with. Now, what's the business reason for the trade? The business reason for the trade is the sell orders under 7 3/4 are done. You go long, your stop is here, because the business reason for the trade, if that goes away, why would you be in the trade? Right? Your trades have to make sense. Right? And then you know that there's a seller here, so you're going to sell here. Now, a lot of people who trade EMA crossovers and Fibonacci's and Bollinger Bands and stochastics, this freaks them out because it's actually the business. You see the chart that you're watching, this is distribution, this is accumulation, this is when you put it on sale, back to cost basis. Short sellers come in and cover, wholesale longs buy, price goes back up because the idiots who shorted it at 5 will push the price up to 10. But this is the rotation of inventory, and that's what markets are. So I looked at the technical analysis books, and there's nothing wrong with them, but there's a lot of crap that you got to memorize, and then you got to learn how to use that while you are getting punched in the face, which 99 to 100% of people cannot do, right? They don't know how to take the information that they get out of a book and put it into practice when the market's actually trading. So what I do is I teach you how to execute. Where do you put the trade? Where do you put the stop? What's the business reason for the trade? And we practice that over and over and over again. So your trading becomes like breathing. So you automatically get out of bad trades. You're not holding on going, I hope it goes higher. I hope it goes higher. No, if the business reason for the trade is gone, you are gone, right? Everything has to make common sense and everything has to make good business sense. That's what we do at Trading Syndicate, right? I cut through all the BS. I'm not going to be talking about any kind of anything that's remotely confusing. Throw the ball, hit the ball, catch the ball. That's it. Very simple, right? Is it easy? No, but it's simple. This business has been going on for thousands of years, right? Markets have existed. It's only since 1995, 96, 97 that we've had decent charting software, and even back then it was crappy, right? So how did people make money doing this 200 years ago, before the invention of the microchip and screen-based trading? Well, they'd look at a level. And if you were to go long, if you know that there's a seller at 10 and a half, why the heck would you be buying it at 10? You'd want to wait till it goes over 10 and a half, comes back down, tests it, pops back up, then you know the sellers are gone. Simple, right? You grab a level and you watch it. All you need to do is to be able to concentrate, follow directions, do what you're told, and draw a straight line. That's all you need to be successful if you want to learn with me, right? Just concentrate, do what you're told, draw a straight line. Don't need anything else. You'll get so much information off a 1-minute candle chart. Do you see these candles here, for example? Look at the tops of those candles, right? That's where the seller is. Now, how do I know that? Because I used to be the seller. I've done 200 IPOs. I've taken 200 companies public. And I've been the executing trader. So I know that I'd be selling here, right? Let's see now if the market can get over the tops of those three candles, right? See how we came underneath this level here and popped back up. That means the sell orders that took us under 3/4 are finished. So that's why you buy 8, 8 1/4, 8 1/2, and you put your stop under the bottom of these candles. Everything is structural. These 1-minute charts will tell you everything you need to know. You don't have to spend money on crazy software or any of that stuff. All you got to do is just be able to zone in and pay attention. And right now you know that there's a seller there and that they stop selling here. So what they're doing right now is they're taking this inventory and distributing it up here for profit. Real simple. We trade with the market, and when we see that there's a seller, so there's a valid reason to take a short here, right? Because there's a constant seller. So say you wanted to short this thing, right? Say you were going short, right? As soon as you see that there's a seller, you'll be shorting this area and your stop would be right here. Because the business reason for the trade is the wholesalers are discounting price at that level. So you'll short that level and put your stop here. If the market gets over that level, why would you be short? There's no reason. right? Every trade has a business reason. And I'm not knocking technical analysis at all, right? What I'm saying is if you can take and learn the business reason for a trade, it will enhance your technical analysis if you wish to do so. If you've already spent years, right, doing technical analysis, that's great. There's nothing wrong with that. How would you like to know why something happens instead of, oh, it's random? Because there's nothing that's random in this business, right? This random nonsense is what people use when they can't explain something. They'll say it's random, right? Hey, Badir, how you doing? See how we went above 10 and a half and they started selling again, right? That's cool. So now we know that there's a seller. That's okay. So this is accumulation, right? This is accumulation, this is discount, and this is distribution. This is premium, and then this is back to regular accumulation, right? That's all we're doing. We take the same stuff and we just move it back and forth, and the wholesalers buy it here, they sell it to you here. When you don't want to hold it anymore, they'll buy it back from you here, find a new group of suckers to sell it to. That's why charts do this. See how they get to 9, they stop selling, the market goes up. Yeah, and that's it for me tonight, this morning. Thank you folks for dropping by and being with me on this slow morning. Please come visit us at thetradingsyndicate.org and check out our AI at aicoach.org. I'm JJ. I'm vwaptrader1 on X. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. And we will see the rest of you who are around at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, half an hour before the New York market opens. I do another session on YouTube. Have a wonderful weekend. Thanks, Joe. Drop by our room sometime and chat. We and if you do join the trading room, um, this is our website, and then our AI trading coach Steve, my partner, is running a deal where you get both for 19 bucks. Can't go wrong. You'll spend less on parking. You'll spend more on parking, actually. Uh, is the gap something I care for? Oh, you mean this? Oh, this gap here that you guys are talking about because we opened under the close? Yeah. I don't actually view that as a gap. I view them goosing the opening auction in Globex. If you rewind the Globex open to where we opened here, you will see how they goosed the auction and opened down because everyone was short. So this is allowing the shorts to do some covering, those who got trapped. But that's an explanation for another day. Thanks, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend. I'll try it now, Alexander, and see if I can get it to work. Bye for now.